In this episode, Top of the Key, talk about the Phoenix trade, the Cavs defensive woes continue, the Celtics keep on winning, and everything else dealing with injuries. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Top of the Key, presented by TurfTalkShow.com. My name is Mike Floyd, and in this show we talk about everything NBA related, from the player news, injury reports, standings, rumors, trade rumors, or pretty much anything that I can find that's pretty interesting about the NBA at that particular time. We try to do these every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but the way every day's been going, I try to get these out whenever I can, so there's a lot of stuff going on. But to start out, let's talk about the Phoenix Suns. They finally managed to make a trade for Eric Bledsoe. They had sent him home after he made out the tweets talking about he didn't want to be there. He claimed he was at a hair salon with his girl. The GM and the ownership didn't buy that. They fired the coach, and they would try to trade him for a while. The rumors were they were asking way too much. Well, they finally managed to get a buyer or a suitor for the trade in the Milwaukee Bucks. They managed to trade for Greg Monroe. And so they valued, Monroe's $17.8 million contract as a trade asset on the market. And the Bucks also included a protected 2018 first-round pick and a protected second-round pick in the deal for Eric Bledsoe. So it kind of works out for both teams. It seems that the Milwaukee Bucks, they needed another, a nice little point guard, to help out, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or however the hell you say his last name. He seems like he's been trying to facilitate the ball, move in a little bit more. He's not scoring as much as he was in the past couple of games. They lost to the Cavaliers the other day. I think he only had 20 points. But by having Eric Bledsoe, another guy who can actually score for those guys, because I can't name anybody else in that team that can score. I think Jabari Parker is still hurt. So once he comes back, he should be another little threat for him. But as of right now, they don't have any actual scorers. So by having Eric Bledsoe on that team now, they should be pretty good. They also heard a rumor that they're going to try to trade for Okafor from the 76ers. He's been sitting out for a while, and he's asked for a trade. So I'm thinking the Phoenix Suns are going to go ahead and let Monroe go if they can't trade him. Just go ahead and do a buyout contract, let that man go somewhere else and play for somebody else. And he can actually score. He's been dealing with a calf strain. He doesn't really have a timetable back. But, if they release him, they can. I think they got another point guard coming off the bench. I don't know any of the players off the Suns. I really don't pay attention to them. Last time I paid attention to the Suns when Charles Barkley played for them. That was back in the 80s. So it would be. I'm gonna keep my eye on that. See, it's pretty interesting. Speaking of injuries, the Boston Celtics had two pretty, not severe, but pretty notable ones. Al Horford, he was out with a concussion. He was out of the game when they played against the Lakers, and he's also going to be out when they play against the Hornets, who are coming into town tonight. And Jason Tatum, he got hurt halfway through the game. He got hurt. He had like a sore right ankle. The MRI came back negative, so he's listed as questionable for tonight's game. Like I said, Al Horford is also going to miss the game with concussion protocol. It was pretty interesting to see how Kyrie and the rest of the guys will be able to handle, pretty fast Lakers. They got some speedy guys like Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, KCP. Those guys are pretty fast, and so it was pretty neat to see these guys actually continue their win streak. They pushed to the 10 straight. Kyrie didn't really have a bomb game. He had 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. The player that game that actually showed out for him was the player that showed out for those guys was Baines. He had 21 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. The big man was just controlling the paint, just knocking everything down, and Kyrie just kept feeding the big man. And everybody's punching bag. Lonzo Ball, he really didn't have a good game. he had 9 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds in the loss to the Celtics. They just played the Wizards today, and he had 10 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Almost had a triple-double. But it still seems like he's pretty tentative. He's still got the whole thing going on with his brother overseas. You haven't heard about that. Langelo and 2 other UCLA players, they got arrested for stealing from a Louis Vuitton store while they're in China to do like some visit game thing or whatever. Well, they ended up getting arrested for, petty theft, and it's possible he could spend the 2 to 10 years. There's more now on ESPN.com. I really don't want to get into that because he's not really playing, and I honestly don't care. The kid was being dumb. But the rest of the team, it looks like they were kind of tired. They did have back-to-back games. So the Washington Wizards, they were playing them. They came back and actually, played the way they were supposed to play. They beat the Los Angeles Lakers 111-95. John Wall, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Bradley Beal, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. This is the way they were supposed to play. Even Otto Porter Jr., 20 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists. So the Wizards are actually playing the way the Wizards are supposed to be playing. Not that crap when they went down to LA and got shown out by Alonzo on them. It's just they're finally melding the pieces together. Wall, Beal, and Porter, they combined for 65 points. So that's pretty impressive. I started following the Cavaliers this season after, the whole Kyrie trade, see how Isaiah Thomas fits in with them, Jay Crowder, Dwayne Wade, and all those extra pieces that they got in that team. And I thought, they finally figured out their defensive struggles. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks 124-119 the other night. Well, they played the Rockets last night, and they lost 117-113. The night previously when they played the Bucks, Kevin Love went completely off. He had 32 points, 16 rebounds. J.R. Smith started scoring again, had 20 points. And it just seemed like they finally figured out that problem. They got their defense up rolling. Well, they went down to the Rockets, who have been just phenomenal. James Harden's just been dropping points, even while they're missing Chris Paul. And James Harden went off again, hit 35 points, 11 rebounds, 13 assists, a triple-double. On the Cleveland Cavaliers, it was just bananas. LeBron, he did LeBron kind of things. 33 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. JR, he had 13 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Well, Jeff Green, he was actually the big surprise. He had 27 points coming off the bench. So without Jeff Green playing, balls to the wall off the bench, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they might have got blown out pretty badly. Dwayne Wade didn't do too good. Shumpert, he was starting at point guard because Derrick Rose was out. I think it was like an ankle injury, but it was pretty interesting, man. Pretty interesting. Well, I really didn't have much for this week. I was going to record one of these on Wednesday, like I said, but things got a little too hectic. The game I'm kind of looking for tonight is going to be the Charlotte and Boston game. Kemba Walker, he's just been playing out of his mind, already an all-star status. I want to see what Kyrie and the crew, like Marcus Smart and all these guys at Baines, do against the rejuvenated Dwight Howard and that Kemba Walker, the 1-2 combo. They're missing some key players as well, so it'll be nice to see what happens with that. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they're going to be taking on the Dallas Mavericks on Saturday, so that should be a pretty easy win for them, assumingly. Unless Dennis the Menace, comes out there and just dominates starts dunking on everybody. I know I usually talk about my Knicks, but Kristaps, he was out with an elbow injury, which I hope is not serious because we need him because we got dominated by the Magic. We ended up losing 112-199. It just looks bad without Kristaps. Tim Hardaway Jr., he did his thing, 26 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist. And I think Ntilikina, he has 6 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists, but it wasn't enough. Orlando's just playing out of their minds. Aaron Gordon, 21 points. Evan Fournier, 23 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. These guys, they're playing for respect out there in the East. I can admit I was one of those people that started saying hey, nobody's gonna watch the Eastern Conference. This is gonna be LeBron James and the Celtics. But then that whole trade thing happened, and then all these other teams are just playing out of their minds right now. So at the time I'm recording this, the Thunder are playing the Denver Nuggets. I ended up watching that Thunder game when they played Sacramento, and I expected them to win handily because Sacramento hasn't done anything. They didn't have a road win, not a road win, but a home win until that actual game. The Thunder lost 94-86. Zach Randolph, he had 18 points all in the second half. Zebo, he might be old, but he was still lumbering down, scoring on those boys, and it just seems like that whole big three concept out there is just, at this moment, it's not working. I honestly think that Russ Westbrook works better when he doesn't have other superstars on that team. They might need another, shooter on the team, but having Paul George and Carmelo, I don't think that's a good fit. Same thing like CP3 and James Harden down in Houston. I don't think those are good fits. You can't have those ball-dominant kind of players on the same team. Maybe, it's still early. They might be able to figure it out and figure out some game plan to get these guys the minutes of the ball handling that they need. But at the moment, it just doesn't seem like that. At the time I was watching this, Oklahoma was up on Denver. I think it just went to the half, so I'll probably report on that on Monday, see what they do over the weekend. But me personally, I don't think that whole big three is working out there. Just a quick look at the standings real quick. Boston's still on top. Like I said, they have that win streak, 10 straight. So they're 10-2 at the moment. Then behind Detroit, who's actually another surprise at 8-3. Orlando, Toronto, Philadelphia, Washington, New York, Charlotte, Miami, and then Indiana. And then in the Western Conference, you got Houston, they were 9-3. Tied with Golden State, who are also 9-3. I think Houston got the tiebreaker over Golden State because they beat them the first game. Then Minnesota, Memphis, San Antonio, Portland, Denver, Clippers, New Orleans, and Utah. So it's kind of, those teams are starting to get to where you think, we all thought they would be at, except for the East. I mean, the East is pretty surprising me right now. Didn't expect Detroit to get that good that quick. I didn't expect Andre Drummond to start doing what he's doing with the free throws. I mean, I think the other night he actually missed a whole bunch of them. He reverted back to his old self, but Detroit's doing pretty good. Ben Simmons for Philadelphia, he's playing out his mind for his rookie season. I mean, he's already tied Oscar Robertson. So that's going to be it for this episode of Top of the Key. You follow us on all the social media websites, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, at Turf Toe Show. Check us out every Thursday for our all-new Turf Toe Show. That's where we do all the football coverage, college football. And that's pretty much it. I mean, just let us know what we're doing, if we can do anything better. I was going to talk about the NBA G League. I went and saw a couple of the games. Rocking his Viper shirt right now. Went and saw them play. Sadly, they lost, but I mean, it was pretty fun to see. Nice to see those guys out there hustling, trying to get that call up to the big NBA. So I'm gonna definitely keep an eye on that. So until next time.